We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now.
Go to the window,
Open it.
stick your head out and yell.
Hated by top of the world.
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to a Monday edition of The Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin with you after a long NFL playoff weekend. Hope you had a good time.
3 hours of my life.
Yeah, well, it's some things to talk about in terms of NFL football, which drew huge numbers and some of the best football and some of the worst decisions I've seen made in a long time from the worst defense.
Thank Pete Carroll for a bad decision.
Yeah, there were several other bad decisions they're talking about out in Denver as well. So, speaking of Denver, today on the program, a little later on Sports Hour, Woody Page from the Denver Post and Around the Horn will join us if we make sure we text him and wake him up in time, Hunter, so that he comes on the show. He'll be on the show here at the same time he's on Around the Horn on ESPN. So, by the miracle of tape.
Oh, yeah.
Today, conversation centers around Big Silver Springs meeting tonight. The DEP is in town at Vanguard High School for the second round of input from North Central Floridians, and we're going to have a special guest on here that I've been trying to get on now for over 6 months. I got a confirmation this morning from his office. Senator Charlie Dean from over in Citrus County, who's heavily involved in the waterways and land in our state, very heavily involved with the DEP. A guy who is well thought of in Tallahassee, is a guy who carries a lot of weight up there. Charlie will be on the program with us today at 3:15, and we'll talk about his thoughts about Silver Springs. He has some strong ones, by the way. Charlie himself, a graduate of CFCC. And yes, that's what it was called back when Charlie graduated in 1962. So Senator Dean will be on with us. I'm sure he'll have some strong opinions about what he wants to see at Silver Springs as well as other waterways. Of course, Citrus County has a few over his way, and he's got this whole district here. And we'll get his thoughts. Coming up today, Dr. Buddy back for extra long session.
It's a good session.
There's some really good stories. And Dr. Buddy's not an expert on everything, although I know you think I am. When it comes to the dating part and the courting part, as they call it, I have to refer to my data because it's been a while. Now, I can tell you the common sense part, once you're in the relationship, that's where I really shine.
That's where I don't shine.
Yeah, well, I can help you with this. Is part that might be helpful to you, JJ, and perhaps to Tom, and maybe to Hunter, and maybe Dylan. You never know. This is the part you got to know how the women are thinking, you know. And there's a couple of things here. One fascinating story I got from the New York Times about a woman who says that have the days of courtship ended. Guys want to go drink cheap wine and watch reruns, you know, and women want to go out for dinner. And there's reasons for that, but we'll talk about that with the New York Times piece, Dr. Buddy will. And then another fascinating one about a woman who cracked the code on the online dating services. She's figured out how to get up the right kind of profile by really basically going online and posing as a man and see how women responded. And she was very successful to the point where, well, I'll tell you about it. It's very successful for her. So maybe there's hope for JJ and all these bachelors I got around here with Dr. Buddy. Also, I mentioned, remind me to follow up on the color of eyes that women trust the most. We mentioned that last week, never gave the answer. So all that's coming your way today on the program. Today we got a house full. Thomas here, along with JJ, Hunter, and Dylan, our other intern. And guys, great football games, long days, and I got to think that the ratings were off the charts. I heard that, believe it or not, that the game yesterday got a higher rating than last night than the game did Saturday. Part of that's because the Bronco game was still going on in the second overtime when San Francisco was already playing against Seattle. So,
I was like,
against Green Bay.
Green
I
Bay.
thought they would not start that till the other game
I
was
did too.
over. I assumed that was going to happen. Then they cut in. They say Sam Shields just took a touchdown to the house.
Are you ready? Are you ready for even what's worse?
That really grinded my gears, buddy.
Next week, the AFC Championship game will start while the NFC Championship game is still going on.
No.
The times are 3:30 and 6:30.
What?
Well,
I don't remember this
I don't
ever
think that's going to
happening
happen.
like
That's when they're scheduled for.
I think that's where they're going to go on the air. I don't think they'll have. This is a freak. They had a double overtime this time around, so they couldn't control that. At some point, you got to start playing. But anyway, lots to talk about there. Some terrible coaching decisions. Miss Stoney's ready to fire somebody. She's angry. She wants to fire a coach. And with some decisions that were made, some tremendous plays. Some great football and some poor football, and coaches and one announcer who really made a bad mistake. But maybe he's going to be out of that business soon. So all that's coming your way today on the program.
Right? I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
can't wait to hear. Usually I know what's going on in this show.
Yeah,
I can't wait now.
Yeah, this is an announcer that screwed up about as bad as you can screw up. Okay. And it's all over Twitter and whatever. So we'll tell you about that. Want to emphasize the coach. Got coach of football line. Senator Charlie Dean, he's been a Republican member of Florida Senate for a long time. He represents the 3rd District, and he will be here on the program. I've had several conversations with Senator Dean. Went over to see him over in Citrus County, and he has a heart for Silver Springs, and he really wants to see it happen, and he wants to see it happen soon. The reason this is important, tonight again at Vanguard High School, the DEP will hold open meetings. Folks, if you don't have plans, head over to the Vanguard at 7 o'clock. Weigh in on the public discussions there. And it does make a difference. And we had Brad Rogers on last week, I believe Thursday, editorial page editor for the Star Banner. And he talked about how important that was, how important Silver Springs was. And we've got that rewind on that, which we'll get with Brad Rogers. So stay tuned right here to the program called The Voice of Ocala with you every weekday, 3 to 6, Saturday morning at 10. And we have lots more to come your way right here on the program. Listening to us on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Well, another year has come and gone, and this year there's some, let's call them fresh opportunities at Ford Lincoln of Ocala. Start with America's freshest lineup and add in nothing short of Ford's MP Genius. 7 models EPA rated at 40 miles per gallon highway or better, so you can, well, go further. Not to mention Ford beats Toyota in fuel economy ratings in every segment where they both compete. All right, Ford has you covered at the pump. Now let's talk about how Ford Lincoln of Ocala has you covered on the price. Besides Ford Lincoln of Ocala's exclusive low price guarantee, they're sweetening that up even more by picking up your first 3 payments. You heard it, Ford Lincoln of Ocala will pick up your first 3 payments on select new 2013 Fords. How fresh is that? Freshen up your new year by a visit to Ford Lincoln of Ocala, test drive America's best-selling vehicles, and let us pick up your first 3 payments on your new Ford during their America's freshest lineup sale. Well, what are you waiting for? Nothing stays fresh forever. Head to Ford Lincoln of Ocala now or point and click your way to freshness at FordLincolnofOcala.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin here with you, and my pleasure now to go to the hotline and talk to Senator Charlie Dean, who is somewhere just close to Tallahassee in Jefferson County, heading up to another meeting. And Senator Dean, thanks for coming on and talking to us today.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for having me.
I know that there's a lot tonight to talk about, and you and I have had a couple of conversations about a common interest. Although I know you have a lot of other things to worry about besides Marion County and Silver Springs, and certainly in your own district. But you've been a champion of the waterways of Florida, and you've also been a good friend of Marion County. I know you're aware of the fact that the DEP has been in here once already and had a public meeting and had a lot of input. Now tonight, the DEP having a second meeting. Do you tell the people, Charlie, how important it is they show up and express themselves at this meeting?
Well, buddy, you're exactly correct. The greatest input that we can have on the issue, particularly about Silver Springs, is the public input to let the Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, know how sincere local government and local citizens are about recouping our springs and bringing it back to a quality, pristine quality that we've had years and years ago. I've discussed this with you before, and other members of some volunteer groups that are interested in Marion County, along with the county commissioners, and some of the city people in Ocala. And it's at a point with me that I hate to see us lose out on the opportunity to recoup and bring the springs back and Silver River back to a standard of excellence that some of us have been here a long time remember. And I think the most important thing that we have going for us at this time is the fact that DEP and Secretary Herschel Vineyard is stepped forward, and that we need to take the proper procedures now legally with their legal staff, and to be able to free up this property from the lease agreements that's out there, and be able to get that back in a proper posture, where then we can start making final decisions with the help of DEP, and that is a state agency that has the control of the river and the lease, and to put that into a, maybe I'm not exactly right, but into a posture of a park, and start managing and thinking about the type of things that we can do in the most natural state for the Silver River and Silver Springs.
There's that part, and there's the second part. But we'll settle for the first part of it becoming a state park and getting the springs cleaned up and ecologically being clean, and all the things that have to be done there to make it put it back where it used to be or close to. Then there's the second part, which is the partnership with the city and county, particularly the county. Well, as you know, it's always been a partnership of the Springs, except under recent years. Now, Palace Entertainment, as you say, is apparently expressed an interest, according to the local papers, about getting out of this lease. Do you foresee, if we're able to get this first part taken care of, the state park and getting the environmentally things sounding in, foresee this happening again the way it used to be in terms of Silver Springs and Marion County being partners?
Yes, and as I had this discussion before, you know, the thing that I'm concerned about is that we capture the essence of this beautiful spring and this beautiful river, and to do away and clean up and get rid of the invasive plant life and things that have just gotten out of hand, clean up the waterway, clean up all of this, and at the same time, you know, we have a number of, I don't want to say unnatural, but they're certainly not the natural conditions that we have known this spring to be in before. And I would like to see the leases worked out and get these good folks, you know, they're in the entertainment business, God bless them. But at the same time, I really want to see us have the benefit of a natural spring and a natural phenomenon that we can enjoy as taxpayers of the state. And it's a tremendous chance for tourists to come and to see real Florida, not the manufactured propositions out there for business, but the real Florida, to be able to see the beautiful white beach and sand in that spring and see the natural fish in those conditions again. That's my goal. That's my interest and input in this thing. And I've spoken to, as I said, a number of different groups and people that have interest. And I want to commend Marion County Commission. I want to commend the city of Ocala and the volunteers as yourself and others that are stepping forward and giving such a good push on this issue at the right time.
It feels like the time is right. Sunday's Star Banner had an article co-written by our two representatives, and they talked about this very thing. Of course, Charlie Stone is new, Dennis Baxley is not, and they're going to Tallahassee with the idea, if you read their article, that they want to see this same thing happening all together. I think the momentum seems to feel like it's coming together, Senator Dean. Do you feel that way?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And, you know, fortunately for this situation and my interest is that I'm chairman of the Environmental Protection Committee, Conservation in the Florida Senate, and the president has allowed me to serve as chairman again. So, you know, if we're ever going to get things happening for us, we need iron when our stick is hot, and right now. And so I think we have the advantages. I know I'm able to get the attention of other senators and other legislators to say, come on, join us, let's do this one. If we're successful in the most pristine of all the springs, to me, is Silver Springs. And if we do that one first and do it right, then we'll see a spin-off that we can, you know, capture the essence of what natural Florida is all about. And I really think that's going to sell bigger than anything else that we can ever have in our tourism. Ecotourism is there. It's the bliss of the best. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, Charlie Dean, by the way, is our guest. He's a Republican member of the Florida Senate, represents the 3rd District, and he resides over in Citrus County. He's on the phone now, headed to Tallahassee. And one of the things I hear a lot, Charlie, we're about the same generation, is I hear people say, I've never been swimming in Silver Springs. I want to go swimming in Silver Springs, amazingly. And, of course, there is no place to go legally in Silver Springs. But I think what we're hearing here are the voices of people who want access to Silver Springs returned to the people. Is that what you're getting?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I laughed, and I was telling the commission executive director, Herschel Vineyard, I said, you know something? Of all the good things that the governor could ever do is come down, pull his boots off, roll up his britches leg, take off his socks, and wade out in Silver Springs. That would do him more good than anything.
It would cleanse his soul, too, Charlie.
And I tell you, I believe that so much. And I really want to see the Springs have a second shot at being the jewel of Florida tourism in Florida.
Do you believe this will happen, Senator Dean?
Oh, yes, I do. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and it didn't burn it down in a day. We just got to keep plugging and working hard and take advantage of each proper step in a methodical way, and I think we can get it done. And having DEP involved right now, holding these hearings, and having their legal staff now pursuing the lease agreements and all the contingents that go with that, the tremendous savings to Marion County and City of Ocala and all of us. It is the right thing to do with the right people at the wheel at this time.
Sounds like you're all fired up, Charlie, ready to go up there and help lead that thing, get it through. And we appreciate all that support down here in Marion County, and we hope we can stay in touch with you as this progresses over the next 6 months to a year.
Well, I do too. It's a real deal with me because, you know, I'm native Floridian in Citrus County, and my father was born in Cotton Plant, Florida, in Marion County. So I have a deep-seated relationship with that community.
Well, you're one of our own, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Drive safely. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, Senator Charlie Dean, 3rd District, Florida Senate. I'd say he's pretty much committed, wouldn't you?
Sounds like commitment to me. Sounds like he's all in. I know you're all in. I know there's a large group of people that are all in that you're part of. The issue is, and this is going to be the issue that I'm most concerned with, I think there needs to be some commercial activity there as well as just a state park. And I'm afraid that a lot of the people that showed up at the meeting last time and will be there tonight want it just to be a state park. And I think there needs to be some commercial activity there as well.
I think that'll come into part two. I think that what happening is here is this is all in state bureaucracy. This has to be resolved in terms of the money spent for the cleanup, which is a big ticket. And I think getting it returned to its semi-natural state, as you heard Senator Dean say, is key. And I think what we'd like to hope is that they're looking down the road at vendors and people from the Marion County area having a chance to go back and do business out there, make it a center of commerce, and then hooking up with the federal government for the Ocala National Forest and Silver River State Park, which is already there, and putting it together under one big ecotourism package, because it could be a wonderful venue for tourism and would bring lots and lots of people here. As Senator Dean said, instead of having one of those manufactured places, I'm sure he was referring to Mickey Mouse and the boys down in Orlando.
I let him get by with that, by the way.
Oh, of course, why not? And I think it's extremely important that you protect the natural beauty of what we got here. So that's encouraging to know that he's on that. JJ, do we have that clip yesterday? I mean, Thursday we talked to our friend, the Star Banner, Brad Rogers, and about tonight's meeting and the importance of it. And here's what Brad had to say. Have we moved the ball forward a little bit?
Well,
is there progress?
Getting DEP, what happened this week with the draft report from DEP saying they're prepared to move forward and make it a state park, it was the single most important thing that needed to happen. Because let's just be real. They're the landlord. They own it. If they aren't on board, if they aren't rowing in the same direction, if they aren't engaged in the conversation, nothing else is going to happen. We got that. Now, that being said, I hope they don't try to like run the whole thing, because frankly, Silver Springs is in the state it's in because of their stewardship for the past 20 years. Now, in fairness, there's a new regime in Tallahassee. You know, Rick Scott wants to make an environmental statement. This is his opportunity. Silver Springs, it could be, there's 700 springs in this state, buddy. And as you know, my family's got a place in Suwannee County. Silver Springs isn't the only spring that's in trouble. Most of them are in trouble. This is an opportunity for them to come in and use Silver Springs as a living laboratory on how to restore springs across the state. They need to use Bob Knight and quit looking at him. And for those of you who don't know who Bob Knight is, he's the director of the Florida Springs Institute at UF. Instead of looking at him as an enemy or an adversary, they need to use him as a resource. He's been studying that spring since he was a college student in the 70s. Put a research institute out there. Use this as the living laboratory on how to save springs. Let the county do what it does well. They have a national award-winning park system. Let them be part of the conversation. It's a real opportunity for us. So I don't know. I know I've said a whole lot there.
Yeah, that's but
DEP needs to, you know, there's a lead, follow, and get out of the way.
Right.
They need to lead in terms of getting Palace Entertainment out of there. They need to lead in terms of getting the crap, literally the crap, out of there. And then maybe they.
All right, that's the end of the conversation with Brad Rogers from the Star Banner. He's editorial page editor, talking about his views on what happens to happen in Silver Springs. All right, we'll stay on top of that. Reminding you once again, 7 o'clock tonight at Vanguard High School, the DEP open meetings. If you want to weigh in, you want to go out there and express yourself, I encourage you to do that. Get a chance to be heard about what you'd like to see Silver. Maybe you don't want to do all this. That's up to you. You can go out there and express yourself there too if you want to. But the idea is to try to do this without it costing the taxpayers of Berrien County hardly anything. And that's about as good as it can get right there. So that's what we're looking forward to. Looking forward to the meeting tonight and hear more about that maybe tomorrow and next day. I know John McLeod will be there, the city councilman. He'll be reporting back to us on Wednesday. So we'll try to keep up with it and let you know what's happening. All right. We had the Golden Globes over the weekend. We had some things to talk about with Laurie Martin Gregory. And guess who's in the house, guys?
Dr. Buddy.
Dr. Buddy.
Dr. Buddy's in the house. You ready for Dr. Buddy now?
His patients are in the house as well.
Yeah, all right, we got 4 suspects right here. We're going to talk to you about some things you need to know about women, okay? I got to coach you guys up a little bit. If you want to have a romantic relationship, listen to Dr. Buddy, all right?
I don't know if I do.
Well,
yeah, I was about to say.
On the other hand, do you want to have a girl to date?
Sounds like hell too.
Okay, well maybe you'll sit this one out, JJ. Yeah. So anyway, for all you folks out there who want it, Dr. Buddy coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala,
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed trade allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or $2, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car, in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year, Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Howdy. I want to invite you to Dairy Queen for a great deal and a great meal. Right now, Dairy Queen is offering a hot, juicy quarter-pound cheeseburger meal, including the quarter pounder with cheese, a fry, and a medium drink for only $4.99. And you can add a sundae for only $1. So if you love real grill-cooked burgers cooked fresh to order, come get a great meal for only $4.99 at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Studio with this news break brought to you by Kinetic Motion Fitness. Gas prices have been on the upswing, especially in the southeast, and prices will likely rise for the rest of January, according to AAA. From New Year's Day through Sunday, the average retail price per gallon had risen 8 cents in the southeast, 2 cents nationwide, analysts with the Auto Club said. They said the price is still lower than it was this time last year. The national average today is $3.30 a gallon. The Florida average is $3.44 a gallon, with Ocala in the $3.40 range. This news break was brought to you by Kinetic Motion Fitness, where the focus is on fun. Find them at kineticmotionfitness.com.
Some sense of it all, but I can see there is no sense at all. Is it cool to go to sleep?
All right, coming up in just a moment, Dr. Buddy in the house. What do women know that men don't know, and how do they work the system? Well, a couple of really good stories about how women got smart and sort of outfoxed some of the dating services and got together and found out how to make it work for them, and good for them. Didn't do anything legal or immoral, just found out how to make it work. And I guess you call it dating metrics. Like baseball, metrics.
Cybermetrics.
Yeah. So I guess that's what it would be. But that's pretty smart, interesting story. Of course, we know the Globe was over the weekend, and big weekend for Ben Affleck, who kind of got snubbed by the Oscars, but looks like he had a big night last night if you watched the Golden Globes. And then, of course, we've got the perpetual whining. I ran into the boss lady this morning, and Elisa, over at Starbucks, and
I was there.
I know. I got the 411 on you, Jack. You got to, all right, lay it on us now. This is what, week 2?
Week 2.
Just barely.
Barely.
And you're now doing what?
Today, I did lunges with 20-pound weights, doing lunge steps across the about a 40-yard parking lot and back.
He says with a mouthful of food, as you're saying this.
Perfect for your new body.
I thought, well, these are actually good.
They're actually healthy, but I mean, people might think you're eating pie or something,
I did it back and forth one time and about killed me.
That's the KMS Fitness.
KMF Fitness. My instructors are Shannon and Katie, and they're two lovely women.
You better kiss up
about
to
an
them.
hour a day.
Yeah, you better kiss up to them.
About an hour a day. About an hour a day. They're not that lovely. But then they had me doing jumping jacks, and you think, I thought jumping jacks. I've been doing jumping jacks since I was a little kid. How hard can those be? And they're just normal jumping jacks. How hard can they be? Yeah, do them for 20 seconds. Stop. 20 seconds. Stop. 20 seconds for 5 minutes. It gets a little tough.
Where does it hurt?
It all over. But
you know, on Saturday morning I talked to him, which was the day after his first workout. And usually in the mornings, that's when it sucks. Yeah. But he said
it hurt more Friday than it did Saturday. It hurt more right after the workout. But today, Friday, I got a little sick at my stomach a couple times during my workout Friday.
We can spare us the details.
Today,
I think we get what that means.
Today didn't happen. Today was difficult, hard, but it was easier than the first week, and I am happy to report my official weigh-in today. I weighed in originally when I started this at 298 pounds. My weigh-in today, 293 pounds.
That's pretty awesome for only like 5 days.
And I'm also happy to report that I've made a commitment to do this, so I have not had a beer in 5 days as well. 6 days.
Sad, buddy.
But you did have a drink.
I have had a drink.
Okay.
I haven't had a drink.
Just get that out there.
Just not beer.
He's not alcohol free.
That's right. But I mean, hey, look, this is called KMF Boot Camp. He's in a program. You are committed. I
am committed.
I got you at 120 days now, and I hope you don't let me down on this.
No, I'm good. You're gonna. You took the over, the under.
I took 120 over.
Yeah, it's going to be well over 120.
All right.
It's going to be well over that. Because it's actually, that's the thing these girls do. It's not your boring routine workout. You're not on a treadmill. You're not, you're not staring in a mirror doing aerobics to loud music or anything. You're actually in there, and a lot of times, like when I did 5 minutes of step up, step down, step up, step down.
Those are good. Good for
you think that that's boring and everything, but it's not, because they're standing right there, and we were just having a conversation about the Golden Globes, and all of a sudden 5 minutes was done.
So what's your over-under on weight lost, buddy? I'm putting it at 40.
My goal is 50 pounds.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go toward 50 because he's going to do 120.
So over.
So I'm going to go somewhere in between.
My goal is to get that. My goal is to get to 250 because I was at 300 when I decided I was going to get to 250. I'm 2,020 calories a day, and I have yet to exceed my calorie intake.
All right.
So I'm actually watching what I'm eating and everything well too. So.
All right, let's get the report from the guys. Everybody so far on time, up or down? Thumbs up or down? Let's see. Hunter, up or down?
Thumbs up, buddy.
Dunwood, if he's doing good, yeah. I mean, he hasn't had any beer.
Okay, good job. You got 4 thumbs up, all right? Don't let the team down, okay?
No.
Okay.
I want you to let us down. I think it would be good radio.
No, you can't afford it. You'll never hear the last time.
I don't think it'd be great radio. I think that the people at Kinetic Motion Fitness are great. You should give Shannon Wynn or Katie Wood a call. They're great personal training instructors, and Lisa Midget and those guys do a great job over there.
That's not great radio. I'll tell you what is great radio.
Nobody but you.
Oh, yeah.
And me.
Time for Dr. Buddy.
We've got it together.
Let's talk about relationships here, boys. Got to get you hooked up now, squared away, and pay attention.
A monster.
Pay attention. We're going to give you this little information now. We'll take a break a little bit more. And let's turn that music up, JJ. The ladies love that song.
Created a monster.
Love this. All right, so here's the deal.
With this song.
Don't blame Barry White.
Here we go. All right, one of the things that have you guys anybody here ever used a dating service? Be honest.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Okay. I know you have. I know a lot of people have used them. Actually,
it's actually in the 2000s. It's the singles bar of the 90s.
Well, it's better having to go out and spend money on booze, So
well, it is.
But you meet classier folks.
It's
probably.
safe. There's some everybody. There used to be a safety issue about online dating.
Yeah.
But it's changed a lot recently, and so it's a lot safer now than it used to be.
But how do you know how to present yourself online? Right. Well, you don't. You're guessing. You want to be chatty.
I put a picture of Fabio on there and say it's me.
No, never mind a picture.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like on dating services, people make themselves a lot better than.
All right, I'm going to tell you about one woman. I only got about 3 minutes to do this. Come back to her. Name was Amy Webb. 30 years old, just out of a long-term relationship. Didn't want to play the field anymore. Want to settle down with the right person, okay? And so she finally, at the urging of several friends, decided on a strategy. You got to have a strategy. And she was looking for people on Match.com and JDate, which is a website for Jewish singles. She happens to be Jewish, okay? And she says, what followed was a series of bad dates worthy of a romantic comedy. Stupid sexual remarks, too much alcohol consumed by them.
It's the word.
Meaning the guys, okay? The guys. Now, guys.
No confidence, that's why.
You got to pay
Blind
attention.
Date, you have no confidence.
You got to listen up to Dr. Buddy about this, guys. You're doing it stupid, okay? If you're serious about this, I'm going to go over this, a couple of little things. This woman has a background in data analysis, so she did a reverse engineering of her profile. Get that?
Yeah.
She outlined 10 male archetypes and created profiles for each one of them on JDate, all right? Then she posed as these men. She spent 1 month on JDate interacting with 96 women and cataloged how they behaved and presented themselves online. So in other words, she got information from their profiles, like the language they use. She wanted to know about how they talked, how they presented themselves in terms of saying hello, et cetera, et cetera. Well, she goes on in this article in Wall Street Journal to talk about this. She said, for instance, in profiles, she found out the language was, you should say, never refer to yourself as fun or a girl. But by the same token, she said she found out about herself, she was too boring, too stuffy, and too professional in her. She wasn't chatty enough, She got lazy about it. She said she learned that shorter profiles and not longer profiles just express enough information to pique somebody's interest. A good cutoff is 500 words, Hunter, not 900. Nobody's that interested. Nobody except you is interested in 900 words on you, okay?
Don't write a book.
All right.
Don't write a book.
So the final thing she said was her parents and friends always told her, just be reserved, let men approach you. She said, wrong. She says, successful online daters were bold and friendly. Popular women did not hesitate to reach out to male profiles. And finally, a couple of tips. Photos. You put photos on there. Don't put 10, 15, 20 photos. Use between 3 and 5 photos in your library. She said, lead with your hobbies and activities unless they require a lot of explanation and description. And said, above all, don't try to be funny. She said, it's hard to be funny in print, especially if you're prone to sarcasm. So she said she thought it was important. And she finally said, women, don't mention your work, especially if your job is difficult. Finally, she said, what? don't talk about your job.
Yeah.
It said, especially if it's difficult to explain.
Right. She has a boring job.
Yeah, data analysis.
Yeah, data analysis.
Let's talk about data analysis.
I'd be like, cool, let's talk baseball stuff.
Yeah, that's not happening. Anyway, so finally she said she got some responses. Among them was a profile of a guy named Thievenin, an attractive Jewish man who was smart and funny, and she is now married to him. There you go. All right, second half of this, I got one more for you after the break. It's going to be, have we ended the courtship process in dating? Is this something that's over? It's like, okay, come on over to my house and let's put a pizza in the oven and drink beer and watch football? We're wrong. That's not how you do it, guys. We'll talk about that next right here in the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, Streaming live at WOCA.com. You sure that's not how you do it? The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim DeFelice. He's a New York Times best-selling author. His book is called Larry Bond's Red Dragon Rising, Blood of War. It is a techno-thriller novel from Jim DeFelice.
Open for debate where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
And Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on You've Got a Garden.
And learn all about disaster restoration. Hear the incredible stories from Joe Reichel and Rob Sobieski on damage control.
And then Shelby Beckett will be with us. She's a teacher, an advisor, and a consultant about energy, healing, reincarnation, and life after death. Her book is called Between. Every future hangs on a choice, and she's going to talk about a book signing event happening on Saturday the 19th up in Gainesville. All of that, plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two.
All right, got 5 minutes to go. We're going to talk about hookups. JJ, you made a comment last week during Dr. Buddy that texting has changed everything.
Correct.
You have to call up and actually talk to somebody so you stay uncommitted, right?
You show them attention without actually showing them attention.
Sure you do. Well, let me just tell you what you slugs are doing wrong. Remember, dummy, it's about the chase and the romantic interludes, okay? Now, this particular story I'm going to tell you about now is in the New York Times. The other one was the Wall Street Journal. It said that people are calling up now and texting a group and having hookups in groups. True, guys? Is that right? They're all going to go in a group and have a hook, meet someplace, and says women in their 20s these days are lucky to get a last-minute text to tag along in the hookup culture. True or false, guys?
What now?
I don't understand what you're saying.
What are you saying?
Women in their 20s.
To me, hookup means something very different.
I know it means you're going together in a group and you wind up getting together. Okay.
All right, so like taking a group of friends out,
meeting someplace,
right,
and then out of that group, hooking up with somebody.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying to you. That's why I just says.
That's like a every night thing.
Women's in the 20s, they text, okay? It's like a rave, but a date, or whatever, date rave. Okay,
it makes you feel more comfortable because your friends are around.
Yeah, now here's the difference. Instead of dinner and a movie, which seems obsolete these days, they have these random phone text, Facebook posts, instant message, and quote-unquote non-dates. Denise Hewitt, 24, who was associate television producer in Manhattan, says the new date is, quote, hanging out.
Yep.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I had a girl say to me a couple weeks ago, this is only our second date. And we were sitting on the couch. I said, I haven't taken you on anything.
Okay. Well, here's what this story says. It says, dates among 20-somethings resemble college hookups without dorms. Okay, and it goes into talk about how this one particular woman says she went to some group, 25-year-old Manhattan. She said she spent an evening of flirtatious glances with the bouncer in the nightclub. Okay, the bouncer invited her and her friends back to the apartment for whiskey and boxed macaroni. Okay, and cheese. All right, classy. She says she agreed. He gangly hoisted her on his shoulders and carried me home.
Caveman status.
My girlfriends and his brothers in tow, where we danced around a tiny apartment to some MGMT and Rat-a-tat remixes, okay? Whatever.
Sounds like a great evening.
Oh, yeah, right. So this is the deal. Traditional courtship, which is still what women want, guys. Picking up a telephone, asking someone on a date, maybe even going as far to pick them up in your car, requires courage, strategic planning, and a considerable investment in ego by telephone, whatever. Not so with texting, unfortunately. And this is the problem, is that texting takes all that out there.
Yeah, but
so the final thought is, okay, to get to the top. A quote from this woman says, Anna Goldfarb, 34, author, blogger, says, I've seen men put more effort into finding a movie to watch on Netflix and then composing a coherent message to ask a woman out.
See, girls like when they see you spend money on them.
But if you pick her up, then you got to spend money on it. If y'all meet out somewhere, she can pay for hers, you can pay for yours, and hook up.
And in some cases, this is why I read in this story, so some cases the women make a lot more money than the men, which is why this woman described 5 smartly dressed women in a restaurant eating food, and the closest male was a waiter. That's what happens. All right, that wraps up Dr. Buddy. That wraps up Senator Charlie Dean and Tom's rant. Coming up next, we've got Laurie Martin Gregory. We'll talk Golden Globes. Whatever else happens to happen on this next hour. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Life's journey has many ups and downs, but you can take comfort in the knowledge that Robert's Funeral Home is here to serve you and your family with loving care and dignity. The Roberts family has been providing their caring services since 1898 and offer traditional, custom, cremation, and veteran services. Pre-made arrangements are also available. Roberts Funeral Homes. Great funeral homes serve great people.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Casual activities like taking a walk or listening to your favorite music increases the activity in the areas of the brain associated with concentration and decreases the levels of the stress hormones that limit memory. When people suddenly realize they have very different expectations, it can lead straight to that post-holiday breakup. The longer we sit, the greater our odds of developing deadly diseases ranging from diabetes to heart disease.
On the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
The heart of the county. We're WOCA, News Talk 1370.
You're listening to WOCA, News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Joan Bennett. Lance Armstrong has apologized to the staff at his Livestrong Cancer Foundation in Texas before heading to an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Armstrong apologized for putting Livestrong at risk, but didn't make a direct confession to the group about using banned drugs. At his news conference today, President Obama said it's unfortunate that many law-abiding Americans fear that he's moving to confiscate their firearms. Asked about the sharp increase in gun purchases since the Newtown school shootings, the president said opponents of common-sense controls have been ginning up fear that the government will take their guns away. ABC's Robin Roberts' Road to Recovery will be bringing her back to the Good Morning America anchor desk next month. She announced today that her most recent bone marrow test showed no sign of the life-threatening blood disorder that kept her off the air for months. Coca-Cola unveiling a new ad campaign today addressing obesity. This is ABC News.
Introducing a faster way to push to talk. AT&T Enhanced Push to Talk. AT&T delivers more of what your business needs. Instant communication, up to 1,000 contacts, plus a broad array of devices and platforms. Visit att.com/enhancedPTT3 to get your business started with a free Samsung Rugby 3. You push to talk, we pushed it further. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Limited time offer. Free phone on new activations only. Requires 2-year commitment to eligible voice and data plans plus activation of AT&T Enhanced Push to Talk service.
Presenting all 50 reasons to switch your business to the new Sage 50 accounting software. Ready?
Ready.
Go.
1. Sage 50 is quick to install and easy to use. 2. Turns information into insights. 3. Improves efficiency. 4. Easily tracks and forecasts cash flow. 5. Supports online banking. 6. Creates and manages budgets.
Time's up.
What?
6. Seriously? For all 50 reasons and a free trial of Sage 50 accounting, visit sagetoday.com/50.
Wait, I can do it.
Oh, that's sweet. sagetoday.com/50.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Like the man said, hour 2, The Voice of Ocala, coming up at a quarter after Laurie Barton and Gregory. We go over the winners of the Golden Globes last night. Ben Affleck had a big night. Get her take on that as well. If you were around hour 1, you heard Senator Charlie Dean weighing in on the Silver Springs issue. Very passionate comments about what he'd like to see happen in Silver Springs. And he is, of course, a very powerful member of the committees on water and environment, whatever, in Tallahassee. And he's pledged and reaffirmed his support of Silver Springs. As he said, he'd like to see Governor Scott go in there and take off his shoes and wade in Silver Springs. So we'll keep on top of that, because tonight's meeting at Vanguard High School is the second round of open. What are you doing over there?
Trying to close this.
Okay.
Well, wait till we go to a commercial. Jesus.
It's fine. Anyway, as I said, we're waiting for round 2 of the DEP open forums at Vanguard High School tonight, and hopefully this information will be processed. And as Senator Dean said, timing is good. A certain amount of momentum. If you saw Sonny's op-ed, you saw that both Dennis Baxley and Charlie Stone, the new representative from our area, coming out in favor of course, Silver Springs as a partnership with the state and local business. So that's all going to be talked about a lot this week. In a little bit of news, Lance Armstrong, who tonight goes on Oprah's sofa and admits everything, says he'll tell everything, apparently has already talking to his group Livestrong and apologized in advance to them, as well he should. And I think we just about had enough of Lance Armstrong. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's one story that I wish would go away.
Yeah, it's just about enough of that story. I'm sick and tired of it. Meanwhile, the president, concerned about what may happen in Congress, whether or not Congress is going to pay the bills. Headline in the Huffington Post says, "Pay your bills." And some people are threatening to say, well, we're only going to pay up to what we got money for. That means the U.S. will pay 40% of its bills, and the rest of it will have to be in default on until we're not going to raise the debt ceiling. So the saga goes on forever. There's always a crisis in Washington, and if there isn't one, they'll create one. So it just seems to be the way we live this day and time. Hunter's got a story about a guy. Talk about an interest when you order a pizza.
This is great, buddy.
This dude goes in and drives into the pizza place and orders a pizza. What do you do, Hunter?
Well, first of all, he was driving a Honda Fit, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen. It's a pretty small,
is that the box or
compact type car?
Okay.
And it fit right through the front door. So
Are you
basically, his foot gets stuck on the accelerator. He drives right through the front door into the restaurant. The patrons that are in the restaurant are obviously shocked. They're calling 911. he says to the people up front, "I like to place an order to go."
Was this? He must have. Did he win the bet for crying out loud?
He's an old guy.
Old man.
But that was my joke. Did he win the bet?
While he was waiting for the ambulance, buddy.
Valentino's to go in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Wow. That's what you call making an entrance into a pizza parlor, huh? It happens a lot in Florida. For a change, JJ, it didn't happen in Florida.
Yeah, I know. That's usually where dumb stories happen.
Did
they make the pizza?
Yeah, did he get the pizza right?
You ready for a dumb story that'll make you mad?
Sure.
In Florida. Happened right at the Circle K at 5182 East Silver Springs Boulevard. That's the one right there in front of
in Ocala, great.
Right by Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Man walked into the Circle K at 6 a.m. This is according to ocala.com. The clerk was in the back of the store. When he walked to the front, the man looked right at the clerk, grabbed jars of change that were for a charity, and ran out the door. Stole from a charity. The man's described as white with a thin build, standing 6 feet tall, wearing black shirt, black and white plaid shorts. He ran towards Walmart. So anyone with information, call Crime Stoppers. But, you know, how low do you have to be to steal from a charity?
Or stoned out of your mind or whatever. Obviously, the guy was...
See, that's the kind of situation where you want someone like me to be in the parking lot when that happens. So when he runs out, I just clean him.
Yeah.
Leave him laying in the parking lot so the sheriff... Oh, there he is, by the way. Change laying right next to him.
Yeah, so you can go to jail, too.
Good Samaritan helping you out here.
It's a good thing that we got to watch after Tom, you know?
Good. I mean, what kind of lowlife steals from a charity?
Welcome to Ocala.
Well, it happens everywhere.
Right here in Ocala.
Unfortunately.
That's one of the lowest forms when you steal from a charity. A place that's, for all intents and purposes, they're out not begging for money, but they're trying to get money any way they can, and you steal from them. And probably, if he's a homeless guy or something, he would probably had taken from the charity, got handouts from him, just helping him out, and he's stealing from him.
A double dipper.
I know. I'm not saying he was a homeless guy. He may not have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
But still, that's low.
You know, look, we're living in a society where people steal from their parents or grandmother, who shoot babies, who whatever.
A guy stabbed his grandmother 3 weeks ago because she wouldn't give him money so he could go get drugs.
Sickness.
I would have never thought of anything like that with my grandma.
I don't even like raising my voice at my grandma.
No, she's your grandma. You don't
but
yell
you
at
get your
her.
head handed to you. That's why.
I mean,
all right, let's switch topics before we all get
buddy,
mad
just
again.
to follow up.
Yeah, on the pizza.
There's no word on whether or not he actually got the pizza or
Really?
the toppings he ordered. So
we should call that pizza place and ask them.
we should. I'll get on that and call
them and
and
ask if they can tell. Let's find out. Get first-hand reporting. Find out if you got the pizza or not. All right.
You got it.
Also, we'll talk a little about the Globes. Laura will be with us in a moment, but I say the two people that ought to get the Globe are the people who hosted it last night. It doesn't get any better than
Amy Poehler,
right?
And
well, y'all can't remember their names.
Tina Fey.
Yeah,
I was having a moment.
Yeah.
Their monologue.
I'm sure they were great.
Their monologue, buddy, was some of the funniest I'd ever heard.
Very funny. Opening monologue was terrific, and I thought their jokes were funny. They were a little bit edgy, but they were good.
What was it? I haven't been following the controversy of Zero Dark 30, but any woman that's been married to James Cameron for 3 years has to know torture.
Yeah, that was a great line.
So Jodie Foster came out of the closet?
Jodie Foster, well, she'd been out of the
closet.
closet.
Not a surprise.
She'd been out of the closet.
She said she was single.
Well, she went a little further in that.
Said advocates praised Jodie Foster's coming out on television stage on the Golden Globe Awards last night.
Yeah, but she didn't say she was...
Well, she did. If you listen to it, there's also, if you notice, was a bleep section.
Yeah, they bleeped. That's the thing. We don't know exactly everything she said because they bleeped about 8 seconds, 9 seconds of what she said.
Because a friend of ours called the house. She said, something happened to my TV. I couldn't hear what she said. And she did say something. She said, well, when I did it was in the Stone Age. She said, meaning back then. And she talked about her two sons
partner.
And her partner, Cindy, or Sin, as she called him. And
it's like Anderson Cooper coming out.
But they never looked. They never panned over to her. And then they bleeped out whatever she said.
Right. So, So, anyway. All right, so we'll take a break, come back. Laurie Martin Gregory's on the case. She'll be here with us talking about some of the surprises last night. Ben Affleck may not get much when it comes to the Oscars.
Well,
but
they can't. They didn't nominate him.
I know. So I'm saying he may not get much. Well, he did him personally. Some of his movie got some love though. So we'll see what happens there. But apparently, one of the best. He got a lot of kudos last night in Hollywood. We'll talk about that with Laurie Martin next, right here on the program called The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim DeFelice. He's a New York Times best-selling author. His book is called Larry Bond's Red Dragon Rising, Blood of War. It is a techno-thriller novel from Jim DeFelice.
Open for debate where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
And Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on You've Got a Garden.
And learn all about disaster restoration. Hear the incredible stories from Joe Reichel and Rob Sobieski on damage control.
And then Shelby Beckett will be with us. She's a teacher, an advisor, and a consultant about energy, healing, reincarnation, and life after death. Her book is called Between. Every future hangs on a choice, and she's going to talk about a book signing event happening on Saturday the 19th up in Gainesville. All of that, plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA newsroom with this news break brought to you by the Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. A Summerfield man was arrested Saturday for driving with a suspended license and cocaine possession. Marion County Sheriff deputies pulled over Jason Garraway after they ran his license plate number and discovered the number was not registered to Garraway's green Mercury SUV. Garraway was asked for his driver's license. He said he had no license as they were suspended. During a subsequent search of the vehicle, it was also discovered that there were glass objects containing what proved to be cocaine in his possession, and Garraway was also wanted on an active warrant for his arrest in Jacksonville for cocaine possession. This news break was brought to you by the Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy every Friday for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
Okay, apparently Argo was a surprise, but you guys see that, Argo?
I have not.
I have not seen it either. I've seen Lincoln. I've seen...
Looks cool.
It did well at the box office. It did well at the Golden Globes last night.
Yeah, it did. I did not see Life of Pi or Zero Dark 30 or Django Unchained.
Well, Zero Dark 30 just came out. I mean, it played for a week in L.A. so it could qualify, and then it just came out. It's at the Marion Theater, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a matter of fact, there was a reference made to it last night by either Amy Poehler or Tina Fey, who says so these movies that come out, it just came out one day ago or something.
Right, yeah.
And
their monologue
it was hilarious.
Was very smartly done.
It was. And so much better than, I think, most hosts. I mean, even than what they had on the Oscars. Ricky Gervais, I'm not a fan. He gets a little bit out out there for me, but...
Lori!
Look, you just roll in here whenever you want to.
So anyway, apparently Les Mis got 3 Globes last night. Argo got 2,
and it got a great joke.
The predictable things happen. At least the things that happened were predictable. About Laurie Martin Gregory called most of the shots there. There were a few others, maybe perhaps that. I even forgot about it, like the Hatfields and McCoys. I forgot that was even this year. They get
TV miniseries.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't think of that as being last year. So you get your years mixed up, right, Laurie?
Absolutely.
Well, what were your thoughts there on the results? As we said, Argo, a big winner apparently, and then, of course, we knew Lincoln was, but it got beat by Argo.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck got his due. Got a lot of love last night, apparently.
Well, he did, and I was a little surprised, although when you factor in the fact that A, George Clooney was one of the producers of the film, B, lives in Italy most of the year, and C, it is the Hollywood Foreign Press. I think there may have been some favoritism for the film. Well, it was a good movie, but it wasn't a great movie. And there were so many good movies this year. It's just, it was a bit of a surprise for me that I thought probably it's still a very good movie, but one of the lesser interesting films.
And then Ben Affleck forgets to give George Clooney credit for being a producer.
but he got a mulligan. It came out next time.
Right.
Well, he didn't do it. His wife did it. Jennifer Garner had to do it.
That's right. But there were some really big surprises, and several of which had nothing to do with the awards. Of course, namely that Jodie Foster came out without coming out.
Right.
But that was a very big surprise.
And what did they bleep?
It was just a technical difficulty. They didn't bleep anything.
Okay.
But it was very unlike Jodie Foster.
To let anybody in her private life.
Well, but just who's been so poised, and she's gone through so much with Hinckley and Reagan, the shooting and being in show business, like she said, for 47 years
Since she was
of her
3
50 years.
years old.
Right, but it was still very big for her even to put the toe in the water. That was monumental. I was kind of shocked.
Everybody they were waiting for her to say it. She said, I'm single.
Right. But she said enough. She peppered the language with enough other revealing information that's clear what was happening.
I think the substance of what she said about the effort it takes to go in and to work on movies and films and the brotherhood and sisterhood part of that, to me, was far more important than anything she said about her sex life. And you could see that people were, if you look at the faces of the people there, some big stars. I mean, Mel Gibson among them, just transfixed when she was talking. They really zero in on what she was saying, because it was who she was, the body of work she's put out there, and I think they had a great respect for her as an artist.
Clearly, and it was definitely, she was among her peeps, and I think she felt very safe doing it in that environment. And, you know, she's been through a lot. So I thought that was a shock, though. I couldn't believe, I knew it was happening as it started to unfold, and I was really surprised. The other big surprise, of course, Bill Clinton walking on stage.
No one was ready for
surprise.
that. And if you watch the Today Show, you know, they showed you takes of behind the stage, and Al Roker, at the time that Bill Clinton walked down the stage, was interviewing Juliana
Margulies?
No.
Juliana Huff?
From not Juliana Huff.
Juliana Julianne Moore?
Julianne Moore. He was interviewing her, and Julianne Moore said, in the backseat interview, she looks at the monitor, she says, "Is that Bill Clinton?" Right. Bill Clinton's on stage? Ow, I can't be here. Bill Clinton's here.
Or, you know, I mean, let's talk about who the night really belonged to, which was Amy and Tina.
We just did that. We just talked
phenomenal.
about that.
And I loved, you know, Amy's response. That was Hillary Clinton's husband.
Yeah, exactly.
That was, you know, really, I mean, they were just so whip smart last night.
And the jab they took at James Franco and his Oscar meltdown was great.
I personally thought the Catherine Bigelow, James Cameron joke was just hysterical. If anybody knows anything about torture.
Well, explain it, because it's about, you do feel as lonely as you did that night with James Franco.
Right. Well, that was the Anne Hathaway joke, which was different than the Catherine Bigelow joke.
Okay, what was the Catherine Bigelow joke?
The Catherine Bigelow joke, of course, Catherine Bigelow is the director of Hurt Locker, which won Best Picture and Best First Woman to win Best Director several years ago. She now has directed Zero Dark 30, which is a film about torture in the process
waterboarding.
of finding Osama bin Laden. Well, Catherine Bigelow and James Cameron were married for 3 years, so of course the joke last night was, if anybody knows anything about torture, it's Catherine Bigelow after being married to James Cameron for 3 years.
And the whole room gasped, and then they laughed.
Right.
I saw it, yeah.
Right. But, you know, and then
it's a funny joke.
It was a very funny joke. And so they had this way of making zingers at the people in the room without making it personal in a hurtful way.
I loved that this is Daniel Day-Lewis's second Steven Spielberg movie. In his younger day, he was E.T. Give us the finger.
I know, and they knew he would do the finger. I mean, they got him to do the finger.
The only one that I didn't think come off great is Mandy Patinkin said that Amy Poehler was singing magnificently, and I didn't think they wanted to say that.
Correct. In terms of the awards, Best Supporting Actor, hello, Christoph Waltz. That was a given.
Amazing.
He was such a great performance in Django Unchained. J-Lar, Jennifer Lawrence, my girl, definitely, we knew that was going to come.
Yeah, Will Ferrell named her that last night.
I said it, just for the record, I said it in my living room 10 minutes before he did, but I had no cameras. I'm sure he copied me. That was a very funny presentation.
With Will Ferrell and
Kristen Wiig.
They were funny.
That was hysterical.
And how were they referred to?
And Judi Dench, where did she come from? Out of nowhere. Like she was a former police cop. Yes.
So who's Jay?
And then they said
Jennifer Lawrence.
They kept saying, and then they said,
Silver Linings Playbook.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get out of town. That was for everyone. Yeah. That was very funny.
And then when they come back, none of those. I didn't remember any of those clips, any of those scenes from the movies. When they come back after they actually show them the clips, and Will Ferrell goes, "I don't remember none of those scenes."
So what did this tell you about what to expect now for the Oscars? What's the day of the Oscars?
The date is February 24th.
Okay,
Seth MacFarlane
hosting. So what does this tell you about what may happen during
I think we're seeing another generation. We're seeing a turnover. I mean, I was looking at, as the cameras were panning the room last night, and Ben Affleck's one of the older guys in the room now, and he used to be the young upstart, he and Matt Damon, of course, but we're seeing a turning over of the fabric of the humor that's being used. And of course, as a woman, I was very excited last night to see two women really deliver what I thought was an A+ performance. And I think Seth will be in a similar vein. It's just it's like I can see the evolution of comedy, and I can see the evolution of the next wave of talent. I think it will be very funny. Seth MacFarlane's a very funny guy. The Oscars is a higher brow event than the Golden Globes, so I don't know how much they're going to rein him in. We'll see. It'll be really interesting to see.
And the Golden Globes, to me, because I'm a junkie like you are, I watch all the award shows.
Right.
And to me, my favorite one to watch, while the Oscars you have to watch because of the Oscars, you can tell the stars are having fun at the Golden Globes.
Because
they don't look like they have fun at the Oscars.
Because, last night, Anne Hathaway won and Jennifer Lawrence won.
Right.
Because you have separate categories for drama and musical or comedy. The gloves are off now. The Oscars, everybody's in one category. So, it's a much more competitive event, and it's really the moment that everybody dreams about is the Academy Awards.
I like when they I forget where it was when they come out and said everybody's happy to be nominated, blah 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 blah.
Right. Well, Tina and Amy loved their fake nominations for Dog President. How funny was that?
Great.
That was hysterical. And it was very funny after Lena Dunham won for Girls, who is, by the way, a voice of a generation, and a lot of folks don't get her, but she's a very big deal.
I'm among them.
Yeah, well, it's not your generation.
I watched one episode.
Ask JJ if he gets it.
I tell you, my second, it's 2 generations removed for me.
Maybe 4. But,
I don't hate the show.
Maybe 4.
Right, but it's, after she thanked Tina and Amy and said she got them through, they got her through middle school.
Right.
And then Tina and Amy came out with drinks and said, okay, the whole show's just taking a turn. Thanks for saying we got you through middle school. Thanks a lot.
Right. They came out with the drinks.
They were very
Gloves
fresh. Yes. Quentin Tarantino, best original screenplay. Django Unchained.
Was that not a great joke she made about him?
Subject of all her sexual nightmares.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's here, the subject of all my sexual nightmares.
Right. But I have to say, I love, race is such a big topic this year with Lincoln and with Django, and I loved that backstage to the press, Tarantino used the moment to say that racism is still going on because black males in this country are prejudiced by the legal system. So he's still, he's using this genre that he's created called the slavery western to really bring attention to some inequality that's still going on.
See, to me, I just want to have shoot 'em up, bang bang cowboy stuff. I don't want all the big heavy messages.
Well, but you got to see the movie. It is a spaghetti
that bothers
western.
me too, but
get
up there and
they
get
don't know.
I don't want a political message.
They don't know what they don't know.
It's a throwback to the spaghetti western.
Absolutely.
It's very good.
That's fine. I'm just saying. I don't need to hear all the political mumbo jumbo that goes with it. I understand there's some causes worthwhile. I get that.
Political mumbo jumbo is not in the movie.
Why using it for?
I feel bad that.
Talk about you're accepting an award,
right?
Because it's true. It is true. Our legal system.
A lot of things are
look
true.
at the demographics. The legal system is prejudiced against black
but my
males.
point is that this is an entertainment show. If you got to make a point and get off. But don't you now? They didn't do a lot of that. Last night.
He did that backstage.
Let me finish. I'm saying to you, when the Oscars come along, I hope we won't have 2 or 3 people making political statements about the movie or the award. That's all I'm saying. It's entertainment. Back to your point, real quick on people and the legacy of movies and generations. And Kevin Costner made an interesting point last night.
Yeah, I loved his speech.
When he said it reminded him of the days he came here as a youngster, and it was all about Gregory Peck.
Yep.
And it made you stop and think, my gosh, Kevin Costner now
has seen a lot.
Is now a graybeard.
That's right.
And now he's looking back to Gregory Peck's era.
That's right.
And this is how Hollywood goes on. And Gregory Peck went to Bogart and Gable and those guys. And each another generation
you can
of
see the turning of the the page for sure, and I felt that with Costner's speech as well. Jessica Chastain, Zero Dark 30, no surprise, great film. Saw it this week, and I'll have a review on that later on in the week. Daniel Day-Lewis, Best Action Motion Picture Drama, no surprise. I was really disappointed that Daniel Day-Lewis got cut off. I mean, here is an incredible actor that does one body of work every 10 years. And he rarely comes to these award shows, and he's such an incredibly articulate man, and they rushed him off, and that was too bad. I was really disappointed because he was saying, I thought he was being very eloquent, as he always is. Best dressed of the night, Catherine McPhee, gorgeous.
I have no idea what she had on.
Kate Hudson, gorgeous. Selma Hayek, gorgeous. Juliana Hough,
Selma Hayek looked great.
Yes.
Sofia Vergara looked pretty good too.
Always does.
I thought that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler looked pretty good the way they were dressed.
There seemed like there was this sort of scalloped look, like the dresses that had scales on them and scallops.
There were a lot of
those.
Yeah, very
Not
good.
that I'm a fashion expert.
Call him Oscar De La Buddy.
Yeah, Oscar De La Buddy. There you go.
Yeah, very good.
And every man, for the most part, 90% of the men
in tuxedos
were wearing Armani.
Yeah. Well,
which
if you're going to
looks
go,
very good.
I mean, come on.
I don't know who Catherine McPhee is, but I like this black dress.
She finished.
Yes. Okay, she's in Smash, the
Sexy.
TV show Smash, and she was on American Idol. I think she was second runner-up to
Fantasia.
JJ, you like the dresses?
Yeah, JJ, what did you think?
Dresses?
I'm looking at two things that she wore recently before this, and they look horrendous.
Right, but she looked fabulous.
So who else looked
last
good,
night.
Laurie?
Yeah, Kate Hudson looked amazing.
That's my boo right there.
Kate Hudson to me is a beautiful young woman.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
inside and out.
gorgeous.
Yeah, she looked great last night.
Halle Berry, I don't know what that thing she had on was.
Kinda
that
over
floral
her.
print?
I am too.
Yeah,
She
kind of
didn't
over
look
her.
good at all. Like retread.
And she's got so much turmoil going on in her personal
know.
life with this custody thing, and she just seems like she's off track, and I just didn't connect with her.
These are
at all
my
last
favorite, the
night.
worst dressed.
Oh, there were a few.
Sienna Miller.
Not great.
I
She
don't
just
know
had a
if she's
baby, though.
right.
But Jessica Chastain,
was
horrible.
Yeah, that's what
That was the worst dress of the night.
I kept, and here's what I'm worried about. Here's what I kept saying. I kept
Fire
saying,
your
like a
stylist.
drape or something.
Here's what
And
I
it was
kept
Calvin
saying.
Klein, but it was a horrible color for a redhead, and that
kept-
pulled back red hair. She looked like she was 50.
She was bald. It looked like she was going bald.
Terrible
They have
moment.
J-Lo on here, but I think she looks good.
Oh, I hated that J-Lo dress. She looks like she would wear my grandmother's tablecloth. That was horrid.
I think she was a little bit rattled by Ben Affleck being
Well,
there.
and the
She
press
did-
doesn't help. They always put her right after him.
But you notice
and
when
they
she made her
always-
presentation, she made a couple of
Yes.
blips in there. She,
Yes.
Before we go to break,
Yeah.
the worst dress, in my opinion, of the entire evening.
Had to be Jessie Chastain.
No, I don't know what Lucy Liu was wearing.
I love that dress.
Oh,
That
it's
Vivian Westwood
horrid.
gown was gorgeous.
That was terrible. Is she on the best
She's
dressed
on
or
the
best
list.
worst
She
dressed?
best
She's on the
dressed.
list of
All
worst.
right, we'll take a break,
I thought
JJ.
it
We'll
was
come
gorgeous.
back. We'll
Loved
read the
it.
list, okay? And Laura, you finish up there. Take a
Okay.
break. Return on more on Golden Globes right here
Great
on your
show.
favorite Golden Globes radio station.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or $2, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
In this moment, who has your back? An insurance company delivering excellence during your claims process? Auto Owners Insurance has been recognized as highest in customer satisfaction with the Auto Insurance Claims Experience 5 years in a row by J.D. Power & Associates. For award information, go to jdpower.com. Let an Auto Owners independent insurance agency have your back, so when the unthinkable happens, you get the claims service you deserve. Call George Mangan Insurance in Ocala today, 352-732-3191. They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. I made a call out to Nebraska to find out if the guy who drove through the pizza door in his car and then ordered a pizza, if he was able to get his pizza. And Hunter called and they said, no comment, Hunter. Okay, we'll check it out. Well, we'll never know, I guess. It's important to know these things.
I'd have demanded my pizza. I was there.
So we're talking about, let me just say, a guy who did a great job of the red carpet before we start out on the pre-show.
Matt Lauer.
You like Matt Lauer?
Matt Lauer does red carpet shows.
He did last night.
Let me just say this. Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, he's got it.
It looks easy. You try having a line coming through every second, commenting on the right thing, giving people to talk about their dresses, their suits, being courteous, and having a little personal note, and keeping a time.
Yeah,
that
he did
takes a lot of professional.
For what he gets paid, he better be.
See, now y'all watch.
But it's hard.
Y'all watched it on E.
Yeah.
But I watched the NBC.
Yeah, I watched it on E, and I thought the same thing. He had a
smooth,
and he went right to it as soon as the interviewee came to him. He had something for every single person.
Right. A little tidbit on everybody.
And he was very good. And it was, I've watched these nominees be interviewed now for weeks. And it, kind of, you start to see the same answers over and over. I don't think I saw one repeat answer because the questions were
all
different.
Good. They're all personalized.
NBC did the Globe, so they had the pre on the NBC pre-show.
Right.
And you could tell that Savannah Guthrie, Matt Lauer, who's the Al Roker, and I forget the Hispanic woman that's part of it.
I just can't look at Al Roker the same anymore.
Natalie Morales. You could tell that they were very uncomfortable in what they were doing.
Yeah, well, let me just say who's not. Ryan Seacrest is a master at it. And he is a guy that, here's why. Here's the secret. He always makes it about them, never about him. And that's the key to a good host and a good person.
So I could never do it.
You got no shot, Tom.
None.
It's always about them.
Juliana Rancic also did very well, which was his counterpart, and
she was okay. She annoyed me.
She
sometimes.
stunk. I thought she was pretty good. I thought she did a good job.
Speaking of stunk, let's talk about the worst dressed, Lucy Liu.
Yeah, I disagree. Jesse Chastain, way worse. Come on.
Jesse Chastain was the worst overall dress.
Absolutely.
But that Lucy Liu
without
dress.
a doubt.
Jesse Chastain, her dress was bad. Her hair was bad. her skin tone
She needs a new
against the
style.
dress with the hair.
Horrible.
I mean, it looked like she was going bald.
Now I'm really curious. It'll be fun to see. You know, the Golden Globes is kind of a dress rehearsal for the Oscars. So we do have the SAG Awards beforehand, but that's really for sort of the inside actor circles. And then we will have the Oscars on February 24th, and that's really where everybody brings their A game. And so you might see Jessica Chastain actually coming out as one of the best dressed for the Oscars, because she learned the hard way.
The Golden Globes.
Absolutely. So she's going to really rethink her style for the Oscars.
Well, what I find amazing is that there is as much pressure put on people on what they're wearing on the red carpet as there is once they get in the Casadio Award Hall.
Not only that, but then when they're on the red carpet, they have to remember what they're wearing, who accessorized them, who their jeweler accessories are by. They have to, promote whomever it is that they're wearing.
A lot of skin last night in 50-degree weather.
A lot of skin and very chilly. A lot of women wearing tuxedo jackets in the dining hall at the Beverly Hills Hilton. Yes.
And now, I know it's been at the Beverly Hills Hilton forever. They got to do something about leg room in that room, because it was a challenge for some people to get up to the stage when they won awards.
Yes, it's always a challenge. I thought it was very cute when Claire Danes, who of course won for Homeland, who just had a baby a month ago, said, "My parents are upstairs in one of the hotel rooms with my 1-month-old." Right. And she, also Yale trained actress, but very, very talented, and it was nice to see her.
Homeland did well last night.
Yes, it did.
Here's my concern. 3 hours on the Golden Globes. What are we going to do for the Oscars? 4 days? I mean, these things keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But more importantly, here's the good thing about it. We have now a new dimension to our show. We're fashion experts, as our callers our friends are texting me, just saying, "I'm enjoying your comments on fashion." Right. One person says, talking about how impressive our comment was about how men were dressed, their tuxes, and this person says, "What is even better is to hear Tom commentating." I thought the only label he knew was jockey.
No, I'm
He's got some Tommy Bahama in his closet.
I'm a junkie. I'm an awards junkie. I've watched them all my life.
Well, you like to style a little bit.
I do, and the reason the Oscars are boring versus the Globes is, like Lori said, the Oscars are much more stuffy because there's much more on the line.
Serious,
it's much more
intense.
highbrow.
Yep.
Where the Golden Globes, even though it was 3 hours, it was 3 hours of comic relief mixed in, so it was good.
It's 3 hours, but it's sponsored by Moet. There's Moet champagne flowing on the table. Everyone's eating. You can see when they go to break, everyone's up and moving around and chatting. That does not happen at the Oscars.
They said they reported Moet said 9,000 glasses of champagne served last night.
I was at the Oscars the year that Julia Roberts won for Erin Brockovich, and before she won her award, she came backstage where I was, and she was crying. This is before she won or lost, so it had nothing to do with whether or not she won or lost, but there's so much pressure. That's why at the Oscars they have the governor's ball immediately after on the premises, because people are hungry, they're tired, they're stressed, they need to be fed, they need to have a drink, they need to just chillax.
That's how it is this show. The pressure's the same way. Some days are coming here, we're just all crying.
Well, let me ask you.
Every day around
either that or it could be the material so bad.
That might be, yes.
There was one big thing that happened last night that's not getting much play, and I thought it cheapened the Globes.
See if I can guess.
Last night on Twitter, the Golden Globes were announcing the winners 30 seconds before they were announced on television.
But what are you doing on Twitter? If you're going to...
Everybody's on Twitter during
Everybody's on Twitter.
Not me, because I don't want to have spoilers. So I stay off of all social media during the show.
After
because they're tweeting it out, and I don't know why, but
it ruined it.
All right, we got 30 seconds for you to wrap, Laurie. What you got? Anything else?
Just one of the best Golden Globes probably in 10 years. I think the ladies really brought it. It's a new era of comedy when you have two women hosting and doing as A+ a job as Amy and Tina did. I know they had tons of help. Seth Meyers wrote some great jokes for them, and they had a staff, but backstage. But they responded to what was happening in the night. They kept it alive. They kept it moving, which was nice. So just a terrific night, a lot of fun. I really don't know if the Oscars can be as interesting. We'll see. I
think Amy and Tina need to get a Golden Globe for their
They
performance.
were fabulous. Well, they probably will get an Emmy because they will be nominated. And
that was my
they
little
did
joke, though. See,
yeah, I got it. But I'm bummed.
Symmetry, you know.
Yeah, but they were great. I thought it was a really fun night all around.
All right, thanks. I can't wait for your Oscar picks.
I can't wait.
All right, Laurie Martin Gregory. She'll be back. Well, she'll be off this Thursday, but back next week. So
Absolutely.
Travel safely. We'll take a break, come back. Time for tweets and quotes and a couple of jokes for you here from leftover from Dr. Buddy segments that aren't related to Dr. Buddy. All coming up next right here on the program called The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
WOCA. Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Whatsupocala.com.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided full-color business cards for $15 or packing service for 50% off until January 31st, 2013. Call me crazy. Green Sheet Printing on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
Don't get caught in the dark. Call Tri-County Generators, LLC first at 1-800-622-1957, your authorized Generac dealer. Tri-County Generators are there when you need them with new generators for home standby, commercial, RV, and portable generators. They also service your existing systems. Now is the time to act. Be prepared before you have an emergency. Call Mike Gant today at 1-800-622-1957. That's 1-800-622-1957 for Tri-County Generators.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
right, coming up in just about 10 minutes, Buddy Sports Page got Woody Page today. Through the miracle of radio, we will be able to have him on while he's doing ESPN Around the Horn. Of course, they taped that show, and we're going to hook up with Woody around 5:15, get his take on things in Denver. Probably not so rosy today. Hunter, as you know, there were a number of tweets about which Bronco quarterback won a playoff game the last 2 years in Denver.
That's correct.
None of them were answers were Peyton Manning, of
Doesn't
course.
it stink to win 11 games in a row and then you're out?
Well, that's why you got to value somebody who won a playoff game. You got to put some premium on that. It's not easy, It's just not a freak thing. It's hard. It's really hard to win the National Football League. I mean, coaches I know well that coach the NFL said you can't imagine how tough it is to grind out a win. When you get to the playoffs, his pressure is so unbelievable.
Every play.
I mean, we're going to talk about it, but, like Raheem Moore yesterday, his whole body froze up. I mean, he just completely was dysfunctional trying to dive for that ball,
Yeah. Buddy, I got a quick question. Would you have taken a knee with 31 seconds?
No, I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, at my house, Miss Joni's on the warpath. She wants scalps. She wants somebody fired. So we'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock
that's what
hour.
I'm thinking too.
Talk to Woody about it also. Hunter, you said you met Ryan Seacrest.
I have. I've met him in Birmingham, Alabama, and we've spoken on the phone 2 times. And he is very much into exactly what you said, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He wants everything to be about the guest and not about him. And
Secret to it, man.
He prepares hours on end doing these things to prepare for his not only his radio show, but for American Idol and the red carpet show you see all the time on TV. And he takes it seriously. He's very obsessive from what I've heard. He's very obsessive over the finest details about it. But like you said, he makes it look so easy.
Well, it does it with ease, and the great ones do. And I put everybody in that category, like Johnny Carson, certainly even Dick Clark, people like that. I'll tell you, Larry King was great. He wasn't always about him; it was about somebody. All right, time for tweets and quotes. JJ, fire it up. All right, number one, start with a good one. Stephen Wright. Yesterday, I told a chicken to cross the road. It said, "What for?" Number two, to an adolescent, there is nothing in the world more embarrassing than a parent. Dave Barry.
That's true.
And finally, since this is the time for movies, Bob Hope says, there'll always be an England, even if it's in Hollywood. Speaking of England and Hollywood, we saw some winners from our favorite show last night,
Did
JJ.
we?
Yes. Maggie Smith. She won enough for another something up for that. But you can watch. Did you see the program last night?
No, I did not. Talking about Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
No.
Buddy, she won for Downton Abbey as well.
She did she? I
What's
know she
the
won a
girl's
couple.
name who plays the main character?
I don't know.
Getting
I have to
married?
get up on.
I
that.
like her.
Names.
I think she's the best.
But I had to. Last night was one of those taping dilemmas when I had 3 shows I wanted to be able to watch and tape, and I couldn't.
Got to upgrade.
Well, I
The new
tried.
Genie.
I tried to, but they're going to cost me an arm and a leg to do it now. See, if I'd have waited 3 months on DirecTV, I'd have gotten it.
You got the NFL package for free, so
Yeah,
it's
but
sort of
see,
like,
it's not a wash.
It's evening out.
Plus, I spent like 8 hours trying to call DirecTV. I'm not real happy with them right now.
8 hours?
Well, just trying to get a hold of it and figure why I can't get the 5 DVR thing going on without $800 it cost me.
Woo,
No way I'm going to do that. So
are you serious?
They said wait around and it'll probably come. They'll probably give you upgrades at some point. So nights last I can't say the word. Like last night were difficult because we had 3 programs playing. It means you can't tape 2 because if you tape 2, you can't watch the 3rd.
Sunday night's the worst night for that.
It's hard. All right, coming up, Woody Page. We'll talk about which announcer made a serious gaffe, and also what do you do when you got the best quarterback of all time in 31 seconds and 2 timeouts to go in the game, and you take a knee? Well, John Fox did. Coming up next right here on Buddy Martin's Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Sword.
Who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ring in a bell.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed trade allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or two, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.7 FM, The Source.
Why is everyone so obsessed with virtual reality and high definition? My neighbor came over yesterday to show me the photographs he took of the pansies and dianthus that I got from Kenny's Place Nursery. He had this electronic pad, and with the flip of his finger, he showed me these beautiful shots he took in my garden. And then he said, "You can almost smell them." That's when I used my finger and motioned him to the garden, and then pointing with my cursor, also known as my finger, I pointed toward the real flowers from Kenny's Place Nursery, and I said, "I can smell them." Instead of virtual reality, I enjoy real reality. But it is more than the beauty of the pansies and dianthus, and more than their fragrance. It's the way they move in the breeze. It's the butterflies and bees that are attracted to them. You know, the plants I get from Kenny's Place Nursery from my garden in the real world provide me with an outdoor sanctuary to escape from that virtual world. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now, I'm Joan Bennett. Lance Armstrong says he's sorry, apologizing today to the staff at his cancer charity, Live Strong, before heading to an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Those who were there say the banned cyclist choked up as he apologized for letting the staff down and putting the charity at risk, but he didn't make a direct confession to the group about using banned drugs. President Obama hinting he could take actions on his own to confront gun violence. He says the ideas that are on the table include stronger background checks, a meaningful ban on assault weapons, and limits on high-capacity ammo clips. 5 people have been arrested for a holdup last Friday at a Nordstrom Rack store near the Los Angeles airport, in which 14 people were held hostage for hours. A South Carolina high school teacher who talked glowingly about freedom while stomping on an American flag in his classroom may find out tonight if he'll lose his job. This is ABC News.
Introducing a faster way to push-to-talk. AT&T Enhanced Push-to-Talk. AT&T delivers more of what your business needs. Instant communication, up to 1,000 contacts, plus a broad array of devices and platforms. Visit att.com/enhancedptt3 to get your business started with a free Samsung Rugby 3. You push-to-talk, we pushed it further. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Limited time offer. Free phone on new activations only. Requires 2-year commitment to eligible voice and data plans plus activation of AT&T Enhanced Push-to-Talk service.
Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive, your acne can heal, and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. We're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive risk-free, get 2 free gifts, and free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. This offer won't last long. Visit getproactive.com or call 1-800-630-1090. That's 1-800-630-1090.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, time to talk a little bit about football, NFL football, and other things here on the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin Sports Page. Buddy Martin, along with a staff of thousands here in the studio. And we just have to get right to the NFL stuff because there was so much dicey stuff going on. A lot of people angry at some of the decisions made by coaches. A real major announcing gaffe or two in the playoffs. And some awful defense played in the secondary of the Broncos. I don't know. I will say this. Having said that, there was a couple of really, really terrific football games, particularly the one won by the Ravens over the Broncos. That was a heck of a football game, although I think at the same time it was a bit of a gift for the Ravens.
I thought both defenses were trying to give it away at the end of the game, buddy. When the Ravens scored that touchdown to tie it up at the end of the fourth quarter, that was like when you see a 6-year-old in a t-ball game who misjudges a fly ball. That's what the safety looked like to me, how he was falling backwards.
It was awful.
As he's running wide open. Flacco can throw that deep ball. You have to know that.
Well, I mean, first of all, in high school, when I played high school football, I played as a quarterback and a defensive back.
All right.
My coach told me, Don Cobb, never let a guy get behind you. Okay? And that was a safety. And never let a guy down. There were a lot of guys can outrun me, but never let a guy. Now, yesterday, Champ Bailey, I'm sorry.
He got burnt every time, man.
Burnt. He passed the toast, passed the jelly, and he got burnt really bad. He looked like he was old. He was beaten. Was it Corey Smith?
Torrey Smith.
Yeah, Corey Smith. Torrey Smith. And then the other kid, number 12, Jones.
Right.
I mean, they were just eating them alive. Especially Torrey Smith, who by the way, whose brother, I believe, died from accident, motorcycle accident. Anyway, just beat him like a drum. And in that situation, the one unforgivable thing is you don't get beat deep.
There's 1 minute left.
You don't. And
they're like 70 yards away.
You see Raheem Morris trying to make a play. He was so out of position there. Raheem Moore, I mean. Is it Raheem Moore or Raheem Morris? I forgot.
Raheem Morris is a coach.
Raheem Moore, I'm thinking of, who was a defensive back for Denver. Anyway, it was a horrible defensive play. And then let me get to the heart of the matter is 3rd and 7.
Oh, my God.
The best quarterback, at least it's second best, if
not
he's not the best.
1st and 10.
Well, 3rd and 7. With what, 3 minutes to go?
Oh, when they ran the ball.
Run the football.
Right.
Hello. And then
he was making those 7-yard passes all day.
Yeah, I mean, that was lunch, the 7-yard pass. I mean, Peyton, that was absolutely a cinch for him.
It's a gimme.
And why do coaches get to that point in time? They get paralysis. They get it's more than conservative. They just completely lock it up. And I think John Fox yesterday, I saw his press conference today. Well, we learn from our mistakes. John, you learn where you don't clutch up. You don't gag. You don't go away from your game. But when they got a quarterback like Peyton Manning, give him a chance to make 7 yards, and then. The worst one of all was 31 seconds to play and 2 timeouts and taking a knee.
All you need is a field goal.
A field goal. You never have to get in that situation.
Hey, Matt Ryan showed
34 seconds. 34 seconds with 2 timeouts yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And this is not Matt Ryan. This is the man.
Manning.
Yeah.
A robot.
We'll get to that Atlanta game in just a minute. But, I mean,
that was a hell of a game.
That was, some great football yesterday. So, anyway, that was one. And you know, I just can't say. I mean, I can't see. You don't get those chances to go to the SEC championship game too often. They don't come by every day. It's hard to get there. They had it. They could have gotten it. They had several opportunities. Even though they gave up the big defensive play, they still got a chance to come back and kick a winning field goal, which they did during the season. That would be a game, what they do during the regular season. They'd have thrown pitch it, kick it. They'd have won by 3. They'd been over. But no, not these guys.
Coaches act like because it's the postseason, everything has to change when it comes to play calling. Listen, you're 13-3. You won 11 in a row.
Yeah.
Do what you've been doing.
Yeah.
3rd and 7. That ball has to be a short pass.
Yeah. Now on to your Atlanta Falcons, by the way. You better say a little Hail Mary or something.
You know what happened yesterday? I'll tell you what happened in a nutshell.
I saw the game. I know what happened.
You know what happened. Somewhere towards the end of the 3rd quarter, the entire Atlanta football team all of a sudden said, oh, God, we're 0-3 in the playoffs. We got to do whatever it takes to make sure we're not 0-4. And they tightened up so bad that they almost lost the football
game. And that
game.
will do it. When you've lost like that, the pressure is, whatever the pressure is, it multiplies by 3
Chris
or 4.
Carter said it today on the radio. Chris Carter, when Mike Greenberg said, Chris, was that not one of the biggest almost chokes ever? Chris Carter said, nope. And Mike Greenberg said, how could you say that? He said, because, Greenie, you've never played the game. You don't understand the unrelenting pressure that continued to build. He was like, yeah, but they were up 20. He said, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
It's like, what can we do here now? Somebody probably on that sideline said, somewhere on the sideline, somebody was thinking, we can't be the team that lost to the Buffalo Bills, who was the Houston Oilers, the best comeback in NFL history. We can't be that team. And when you start thinking that, you start tightening up. And Chris Carter said, your body physically will not do things you need it to do because you're tired. It's been a long game, and now all of a sudden your brain's cramping too, and it gets into you.
And Seattle, in the first half, scored 0 points, but that's not because they didn't drive the ball.
No, they moved the ball
They
up down
took
the field.
ball down there in the red zone multiple times.
Russell Wilson, what a player.
Got nothing out of it.
What a player Russell Wilson.
I just don't understand all day why Atlanta thought it was okay to allow 17 to 20-yard passes. I mean,
wide open
behind
passes.
The linebacker, in front of the safeties, just wide open.
That's the new favorite route in the NFL. Is
Zach
the tweener.
Miller was destroying them.
And
8
Zach
catches,
Miller
142
destroyed them.
yards, running wide open down the middle of the field. I mean,
well, a lot of things happened in that Atlanta game. We're going to get to them in just a minute. We'll talk about that, about the announcing gaffe in that game, which is...
See, and I missed it, I guess, because I watched the whole game.
About it, what was said, and also we'll talk about Mike Smith learning the difference between an onside and a squib kick. We need to coach him up on that a little bit. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We hope, if all goes well, we'll be able to hook up with Woody Page of ESPN. I'm sure he has several thoughts on the game in Denver yesterday, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Digital Graphics Reborn. Phoenix Promotional Solutions. When you need vehicle wraps, banners, t-shirts, window graphics, you need to call Phoenix Promotional Solutions at 368-2404. 368-2404. When you need building signs, vehicle wraps, yard signs, realty signs, business cards, you need to call 368-2404. 368-2404. Phoenix Promotional Solutions. Digital Graphics Reborn.
Hi, this is Brad from Ocala Aviation. How would you like to have someone give you $4,000? Call me.
Brad, can't end the commercial that way.
Why not?
Because you have to tell them why you're giving away $4,000.
No, I don't. It's $4,000.
Yeah, I know, but for what?
Oh, I see. You mean like tell them it's for a flight scholarship that gives young people a chance to fulfill their dreams of becoming a pilot?
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, just give them the phone number. It's $4,000.
All right. What's the phone number?
352-861-7484.
Okay, that works.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Casual activities like taking a walk or listening to your favorite music increases the activity in the areas of the brain associated with concentration and decreases the levels of the stress hormones that limit memory. When people suddenly realize they have very different expectations, it can lead straight to that post-holiday breakup. The longer we sit, the greater our odds of developing deadly diseases ranging from diabetes to heart disease.
On the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, loss proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
But I've heard one on you, and I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Make a home down there as mine sure won't be shared. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had.
We're back on Buddy's Sports Page on a Monday edition of the Voice of Ocala. I'm going to give you, while we're trying to get Woody Page on the phone, I'm going to give you the 5 craziest plays from that Atlanta game, buddy. And you tell me which one you think was the craziest. Yahoo Sports has them listed as Atlanta's poorly executed squib kick.
That's for sure. That's number 1.
Pete Carroll calling timeout, but then again, no, I didn't call timeout. Marshawn Lynch's fumble in the end zone, icing the wrong kicker, or Julio Jones making the interception on the final play.
Yeah, I think those are good ones. Hold up.
But that squib kick almost cost Atlanta the game with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah, for sure. Difference between a squib kick and an onside kick. That was an onside kick for crying out loud.
Yes, it was.
Let's go to the phones now and talk to a guy who was no doubt at Mile High yesterday when the Broncos gave one away. If they could just learn how to play pass coverage deep. And maybe John Fox would remember who he has at quarterback when he's got 30-something seconds to go and 2 timeouts. You never know. I'm sure they'll talk about that very much today in Denver. Are they, Woody Page?
Well, I wish I had been at Mile High Stadium yesterday, because if they played him again, they might have beat him. It was Saturday that I was at the game.
Yeah, Saturday. I'm sorry, yes.
I can quickly, there were a bunch of different things that the Broncos did so poorly. In Atlanta, you were just talking about Atlanta almost found a way to waste that game. But oddly enough, it was kind of interesting. At the end of regulation, the Broncos had the ball with 31 seconds on their 20. They got one of the best long kickers in the game, and Matt Prater. He's very successful. I think he's like 7 out of 9 from 50 to 59 yards. And they had 35 yards to go to try a field goal to win the game in regulation. They had 2 timeouts in their pocket. They had the greatest quarterback in terms of comebacks, and you and I saw a pretty good one in John Elway. They had the greatest, statistically, comeback quarterback in the history of the game. I think he had 48 winning drives in the fourth quarter, and yet John Fox determined that they take a knee. And so that was the offensive gaffe of the game. And the defensive gaffe is, as anybody listening to the show knows, that the one thing you don't do at the end of the game is ever let a receiver get behind you. You keep him in front of you. I mean, if the guy catches it on the 10-yard line, they still got to try and make a touchdown. But the Broncos watched as both Seattle and I'm sure they watched as Seattle and Atlanta both moved down the field in a matter of seconds yesterday. And they also saw a guy in Tom Brady who, unlike the Broncos who tried to run out the clock, Brady yesterday threw 3 different times on 3rd down and picked up first downs to keep Houston from having a chance to win that game. So the Broncos saw yesterday what they should have been doing on Saturday.
Well, the one in my house who's hollering for John Fox's head is Joni. She thinks he should be fired for that stupid decisions. But, he is a conservative guy. What was your personal reaction when he took the knee with 31 seconds to go?
I was both amazed and outraged. And I don't get outraged much by sports events, but I said, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. I mean, this isn't reflection. This isn't second-guessing. That was at the moment going, oh, what the heck he's thinking there. And Joni is absolutely right, and she should be the columnist over the years instead of you and me. And the other aspect of it was that going into overtime what could happen, because the Broncos saw it last year. Tim Tebow throwing 80 yards, throwing an 80-yard touchdown pass. He didn't throw it 80 yards, but he threw a touchdown pass to Demaryius Thomas. I don't know, because people are much more interested still in Tim Tebow down there, although some people are losing interest. But Tebow's older brother, Peter, who's the minister here in Denver, wrote and said, am I the only happy guy in Denver? He was really ripping on the Broncos, and I'm sure that, as you well know, there's a bit of a dark side on occasion to the Tebow family, and that kind of came out from Peter. Tim didn't text anything like that, but both Peter and Robbie have strong emotional feelings, and they'd let it be known when Tebow was traded. I found it funny talking about Tebow that we had a question on Around the Horn on Friday or Thursday about since Jacksonville doesn't want Tim Tebow, are there any teams? And I said, yeah, I imagine there are a couple of teams in Florida that wouldn't mind Tampa. I wouldn't mind bringing him in as a backup, and the Miami Dolphins would probably consider him as a backup. I think Carolina, which runs read option, would be interested in taking a look at him. I still think there are a bunch of teams out there that are secure enough that, and I'll explain that, buddy, but I think there are teams out there that are secure enough to bring him in. People go, well, you don't want that circus. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, for instance, have two old backup quarterbacks. That's a pretty secure team, and the fans are pretty secure in terms of how they treat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Tim should go somewhere like that, where it's not a circus to begin with, like, as you know, two places you've lived, New York City, where it's going to be a circus no matter what happens, and Denver, because that was the first place he went. So I think there's still places for Tim Tebow to ply his trade.
I know it's probably a little bit of a cheap shot, but there were a lot of us firing him yesterday, that you never know when you're getting back to an AFC championship game. Playoff games don't fall off the back of turnip trucks. And the old ironical question of, did the Denver Broncos have one playoff win the last 2 years? Guess which quarterback had it? The certain irony of that. I'm sure that didn't get lost on people. But the fact is, he did beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. And in a game that they could have won, he didn't. And he threw in a pick at the end. Now, I'm not knocking Peyton. Peyton's a great player, okay? But it just shows to show the fragility of the situation. And it's beyond me why somebody wouldn't take a chance on Tebow. But the most important thing, and we got into a little bit of a spat here on the show Friday, and I said I thought it was really rude the way Caldwell, the new general manager, said under no scenario would they ever take Tim Tebow. Excuse me? Are they the Green Bay Packers under Vince Lombardi or what? You know?
Well, particularly when the owner of the team has wanted Tebow since the very beginning and actually brought it up with the new general manager, and the general manager said no, and he said, well, you know, you're in charge.
Yeah.
Well, I'd think about, before I'd say something like that, I'd think about the fact that the owner really does like him, and you still have tarp covering about half the upper deck.
Exactly, so. And I mean, look, I like it into Pontius Pilate. Okay, well, that's up to you. All right, well, too bad. But anyway, we digress. Great football played yesterday. I don't know. I'm certain that the talk shows in Denver are still buzzing today. I saw the press conference with John Elway and John Fox. In the heart of the matter, do you think John Fox is just a little too conservative?
Well, I don't think he's ever had a quarterback like Peyton Manning, and I can understand. I mean, he's a defensive coach, and I understand he's a conservative coach, but I saw too many examples this year where he has played not to lose a game. And again, you're sitting there in the middle of college football country, and it's always amazed me that college football coaches who have as much to lose as NFL coaches play to win. NFL coaches play not to win. They played it not to lose. And I'm constantly amazed by that. The NFL had to be dragged screaming and kicking into the two-point conversion when the college football just wrapped its arms around it and said, yeah, let's do that. And you see all the time college football teams going for two in situations on the road or in situations where in the NFL, they would never think about it. To give you an example, one of the games over the weekend, it was the Baltimore game. Now, you're the Ravens, you're on the road, you tie the Broncos up, you got the Broncos on their heels, they're sitting there dropping their lower lips. I would have gone for 2 if I'd have been the Ravens in regulation and say, okay, we're going to win it right here. You and I saw Mike Shanahan go for 2 in a situation a few years ago against the Chargers after the Chargers got a bad call, and he thought, well, while I got them sitting there thinking about the bad call, I'm going to go for 2, and Cutler threw it for 2, and they won the game. I don't understand why the Ravens didn't go for 2 right there. They end up winning the game, but do you really want to go into overtime against them on the road? Your team is tired. Why not go for 2? So I'm just saying that John Fox is a prime example of the NFL and its conservative coaches, and I thought immediately what your wife did. I thought maybe I should write that he should be fired. Yeah. And I thought, well, let's take a little time here. I mean, I don't think you have to actually, and I don't think you would do it. I mean, you've been a columnist for 40 years. I don't think you would have been able to say yourself, I'm going to write a column saying he should be fired.
No, but he should be criticized heavily for it and flogged.
Oh, and I was the only one. I was surprised, buddy, that I was the only one that really brought it up. People were talking about Raheem Moore and getting beat on the safety for the Broncos, getting beat on that play that tied it in regulation. And I'm sitting here thinking, you still got a chance to win the game. I wrote that after the game, and the headline on my column was John Fox takes a knee and the Broncos lose. And I wrote about it, and I was surprised there hasn't been more talk about it in Denver than there has been.
I'm surprised too.
And I don't know that a coach should be fired for one game after you've gone 13-3, but I think the coach should not escape a great deal of criticism for that. Just like if it happened in Gainesville, Florida, if it happened in Athens, Georgia, Knoxville, Tennessee. If it happened with the New Orleans Saints or the Atlanta Falcons. If the Falcons had gotten beat yesterday, imagine how that would have all turned around in Atlanta. So, I mean...
coaches get crazy then in the playoffs. They get crazy. They do crazy things,
Well, I just think coaches, particularly in the NFL, we've gotten this far. Oh, we can't lose the game. We can't lose the game. Well, why not sit there and think about, let's win the game. Let's win the game. I will give Pete Carroll credit, and I haven't been the biggest Pete Carroll fan, but I really loved the job he's done this year, and I loved what he did in that game yesterday. I mean, they could have just backed it in, and he was scrapping to the very end, and then he screwed up.
Well, by the way, I found out he had his fingers crossed when he called that timeout. It was King's X. He didn't really mean it.
Well, he said you could read his lips on the sideline when he said he didn't call a timeout. Yeah. Well, then when they showed it, you could see him saying 1 second timeout.
I wonder who did call it, Pete, if he didn't call it. Quickly, Woody Page, by the way, from the Denver Post, Around the Horn, ESPN Around the Horn. Real quick, Baltimore did something yesterday that I've never seen or heard. 2 days ago, excuse me. They got a kicker go on the field and got a practice field goal. What's up with that?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that he got away with it, but nobody stopped him.
No, that's strange.
and the Broncos didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, they don't pay attention to things that are going on
what's right in front of them. Exactly.
It's like there have been rules this year. There was that rule in the college football game about the 1-point safety. You and I have been around this game a combined 100 years. Literally, we've been around this 100 years, and I never heard of that.
I never heard of it either.
So a guy going on and taking a practice field goal. I've seen with the new replay rule when the Detroit coach Schwartz got the 15-yard penalty and they wouldn't review the play because he wasn't supposed to be throwing the flag on that play.
Yeah, go back to New England and the snow shovel event, the deal. Remember the Zamboni or whatever it was, remember?
For people out there that watch football, you go, every once in a while you go,
something new happens.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Who do you like now at this point in time?
Oh, I like New England. I mean, the Broncos, you were talking about it earlier, people here are saying, well, the same thing happened against Jacksonville in 1996, and they went to the Super Bowl the next 2 years and won. You were saying it earlier. These opportunities don't pop up every year, And New England was sitting there ready to be had by the Broncos because the Broncos would have them at home, but New England now gets the home field again. So you got to go with New England as far as I'm concerned. Baltimore, I still don't think is very good. And I think San Francisco has a lot of people wondered about and even criticized the move out there to Kaepernick, but look how well that's worked.
What a
out.
player he's turned out to be.
I would say San Francisco and New England, and certainly they're the choices now, and probably the chalk. And I see no reason not to go with them. I think it'd be interesting to have brothers play.
It would be. It would be an interesting thing. It would happen, but it's not going to happen. The Ravens aren't going to beat them.
I would have rather seen the two brothers play quarterback against each other, but I think it's good. I think it's going to be the Patriots again. A lot of people hate the Patriots. A lot of people love them, and I think the 49ers and stuff.
Josh McDaniel back in the saddle again. So there you go, your boy Josh.
Yeah, he landed on his feet. A lot of people do that. You and I land on our feet. Josh McDaniels has too.
Hey, Woodrow, it's always great talking to you, man.
Hey, it is, and wish to all the people in Florida we're out here. It's 0 degrees today and little skidding snow, and I got some friends that are headed to Key West, and I think that they said, well, it's going to be 81 down there. So
yeah, it's only about, what here, guys, 75 or something like that?
Yeah, well, pick your poison.
Yeah. All right,
thanks, buddy. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Woody Page, ESPN Around the Horn, and Denver Post, timeout. Back, and Tom wants to talk about his Atlanta Falcons some more, and I'll tell you about the coach who was announcing yesterday who really made some gaffes right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444. Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range, and we usually hide somewhere in a neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Why is everyone so obsessed with virtual reality and high definition? My neighbor came over yesterday to show me the photographs he took of the pansies and dianthus that I got from Kenny's Place Nursery. He had this electronic pad, and with the flip of his finger, he showed me these beautiful shots he took in my garden. And then he said, you can almost smell them. That's when I used my finger and motioned him to the garden, and then pointing with my cursor, also known as my finger, I pointed toward the real flowers from Kenny's Place Nursery, and I said, I can smell them. Instead of virtual reality, I enjoy real reality. But it is more than the beauty of the pansies and dianthus, and more than their fragrance. It's the way they move in the breeze. It's the butterflies and bees that are attracted to them. You know, the plants I get from Kenny's Place Nursery from my garden in the real world provide me with an outdoor sanctuary to escape from that virtual world. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful.
WOCA.
We're back on Buddy Sports Page. We're wrapping up on Monday. Woody Page. Great interview with Woody Page.
Good form today. Woody was in good form today.
Buddy, we waited for 2.5 hours
I know.
now.
Well, here's the deal.
What in the world are you talking about? An announcer almost lost his job.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to lose his job anyway. Apparently, he's the number one choice of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Brian Billick has, he interviewed there yesterday. Or
he wasn't the number one choice. He's about number 6 choice.
He is now apparently the favorite at this point. And he was on yesterday. Now, I've read several articles about his overall broadcasting in general. I didn't pay much attention to it. But at the end, when he made the comment about the fact that he thought maybe the Seahawks would be the number one team to beat, quote, this win right here legitimizes Seattle Seahawks as the number one seed and makes them the team to beat.
I do remember him said that. And I was like,
I'm thinking, hello, did I miss something here?
I do remember that.
That obviously was not a good decision on his part. He did. But the other thing that got me was right before that he said, Seattle's driving, I forget how much time, maybe 2 minutes plus, at 3. They're driving down the field, they're down by 6, right?
Right.
And he says, well, if they don't get it here, they can always kick the field goal. I said, what?
Yeah, and then do it on. He said, kick the field goal, on onside kick.
He was like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
They told him, he was like, you're not, that's going to do nothing for you. And
But I mean, I'm thinking, what?
We were making fun of him too, but
come on, man.
I still think Phil Simms has got to be the worst.
Really?
Color analyst.
I think Simms is okay.
I know he makes those mistakes all game long.
See, I took the mistake that I saw Billick make early that was really me is like, well, they're definitely in 4-down territory here now because, if they didn't get, because they didn't get the first down, it's 3rd and 1, and Brian Bitterman says, no, they got the first down. Oh, my mistake, they got the first down. It was 1st and goal from the 1.
All these situations I forgot about till y'all are talking about them, and I made a comment about every
It was 1st and goal from the 1. He's like, they're in 4-down territory now.
Yeah.
And then he tried to go back and save it the next play. Well, if they had
that's why sometimes just watching it on mute, it's never a bad choice.
Well, they could have had Kenny Albert, Daryl Johnson, and Tony Siragusa.
Yeah, where was that team?
Goose annoys me on the side.
I love Siragusa.
But Brenneman and Brian Billick. Now, Billick's a pretty smart guy. He's a really good offensive mind. And there have been some times he made some choice comments. I just don't think you can take 3 hours of him.
No.
I think he loses track. A lot of us make mistakes. I haven't made any in the last 3 or 4 minutes. The thing is,
play-by-play guy's good.
The worst part of Brenneman, he comes out of Cincinnati. They did the Reds, used to do the Reds, all that stuff. But the deal is that there's a whole lot. The internet can get vicious and nasty.
Yeah, it can.
Did he have a stroke? Is he drinking? Is he drunk? And so on and so forth. So anyway, not a good day for either the Broncos or Brian Billick.
Well, the Falcons game yesterday is the game that's getting the most talk of yesterday's games because the Patriots just walked.
Yeah,
they just walked through their competition. By the way, a team that everybody remember 12 weeks of the season, the best team in the league was the Houston Texans. If you ask anybody who said that they're an expert, well, that proved to be incorrect.
Well, they show their true colors at the end of the year.
So Atlanta's up by 20
Matt Schaub
points.
is just not.
He's very average.
There's a reason he was. There's a reason he was a backup.
Exactly right.
Okay. Atlanta was up by 20, and JJ said it when they were up 27-7. When they were up 20-7, and no, they were up 20-0, and Seattle scored that first touchdown to go 20-7.
Yeah, I said I like Seattle to win this.
I said, uh-oh. But then Atlanta marched it right down the field on a 7-minute drive.
Scored right away.
Punched it in the end zone.
28-7, right?
Went 27-7.
Whatever, 27.
That's what I thought.
They should have went for
go
two.
for two. It makes no sense not to go for two.
Right.
Here.
But they go up 27-7, and I thought, okay, 17 minutes to go in the game. Now we're good. And everybody, I've read blogs all day, and I've heard people. The smartest person I've heard talk about this today.
Me?
No.
Oh.
Mike Golick. And Mike Golick said something that I agree with. They said, how can the Falcons just go into that only rushing 3 with 17 minutes to go? And here's why. You only rush 3. You keep 8 back. Now, they were letting them have some huge plays quick, though. That's the problem. When you got 8 people back, you shouldn't have a tight end that's so wide open there's nobody within 5 yards of it.
I think Denver needs to try that. One guy rushing 10 back.
But Atlanta, when you're up by 20, your job isn't to stop Seattle from scoring. Your job is to make Seattle use as much clock as they can in their drives. All they had to do was make Seattle, the first drive when Seattle scored and it was 27-14, Seattle used almost 5 minutes on that drive. Then Atlanta gets the ball back. If Atlanta goes, on a 6 or 7 minute drive, kicks field goal, it's over. Instead, 3 plays into it, Matt Ryan throws an interception. And then I said, uh-oh.
Yep.
Not good. Then when Marshawn Lynch punched it in, I looked at the clock, and I've watched earlier this year, Atlanta won a game, I think it was against Minnesota. They won a game in the same thing. They had about 45 seconds to go and a bunch of timeouts. And Minnesota did the same thing that the Seahawks did, which I didn't understand. With 35 seconds to go in the game, why are you kicking that ball deep?
Deep.
Why are you kicking it deep? And I guess they said because the squib kick gives Atlanta the chance to, then they don't have to run it up. But Rodgers takes it, makes the best run of the day by Atlanta on a kickoff, brings it back to the 36. Then Matt Ryan makes 2 great throws. And then Pete Carroll has brain freeze. Buddy, you've said it a lot. You do not like the coach that takes the timeout right as the kick's about to happen.
When will they learn? Because it never works for them.
Now
it always works against them.
Offenses are told, offensive coordinators and special team coordinators, special team coaches say, if you hear the whistle blow in that situation for the center, snap the ball.
Kick it.
Because that way, if you snap the ball, the referees aren't going to say anything because that was in the actual motion of the game.
Right.
You get a free kick. He kicked it. It was wide right. But now a good professional kicker, I missed that wide right. I can make an adjustment.
He's not going to miss twice.
He nailed it right down the center of the uprights from 49 yards.
College, it's I don't hate icing the kicker as much in college because they are kids and these kickers aren't nearly as good.
No, some of them are just out of high school and everything. But a guy that's been the Atlanta kicker, Matt Bryant, he's been kicking now. This is his 16th season.
Like, make him run on the field and kick it, right?
You're not icing a guy that's been doing this 16 years.
And it's indoors. Like,
he's made a pretty good paycheck kicking the ball. If he's been in the league 16 years, you're not icing him. So, but then Mike Smith, who I don't know if it was Mike Smith or if it was just Matt Bryant blew the kick, but that onside kick that was supposed to be a squib kick or something, I thought, oh, here we go again. I tell you, it was an emotional roller coaster for me yesterday. I almost called and put myself on suicide.
Yeah, we almost called 911 over there. We were a little concerned about you over there, so luckily you got through that one. So, all right, we're going to take a break, come back. Speaking of over the weekend of games played, Florida Gators just crushed LSU.
Crushed LSU.
And I'm wondering, is it because Florida's defense is so good, or the rest of the league doesn't seem to be very good? There's a couple of decent teams, but for the most part, they don't look good at all. But we'll talk. Florida keeps getting injuries again. We'll talk with Franz Beard next, right here on the Voice of Ocala. Get his take on the Gators as they get ready to go play some more SEC opponents this week. Right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Yes, George.
I can't get the car started, and I need to get to Devon Self-Storage in Ocala and unclutter the garage.
Oh, George, don't worry. Devon Self-Storage in Ocala has a free move-in truck now. Just ask for John or Michael. They will gladly help you. George, you better call 352-873-0777.
Oh, thank you, Alice.
Say hi to Gordy for me.
Yes, I will, Alice.
George, with Devon Self-Storage in Ocala, your life just got easier.
Yes, Alice, yes.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
This is Wendy and Will of Dex Imaging. By now, you might be tired of hearing us talk about Dex. So instead of us telling you how much Dex can save you on your copier costs and how we can help your office be more efficient, we thought we'd let Judy tell you.
Hi, I'm Judy, the office manager of Graper Facial Institute here in Gainesville. We operate 8 medical offices, so I was looking for a document management system that would copy, scan, print, and share documents among all of our locations, but something that was within our budget. Dex Imaging recommended a Kyocera with their Index solution. It's been amazing. This machine does everything we need it to, including a direct scan into our current electronic medical record software. Dex even trained us on how to use it. Dex has been a tremendous help in making our practice and my job more efficient.
Thanks, Judy. And remember, call Dex Imaging today for a free workflow analysis to find out how you can save 20 to 30% on your copying and document management needs, just like Graper Facial Institute. Dex Imaging, 352-224-1816. That's 224-1816.
Hi, I'm Ernie Sprantz. Join me weekday mornings at 10:50 for Report to Consumers. Consumer news you can use from your hometown station. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Keeping you in touch with Ocala. WOCA.
All right, coming up just a second, Franz Beard joins us to talk about Florida Gators' easy win over LSU. Like Tom says, they're a bit of a mash unit right now. They get a couple of guys back, a couple of guys get hurt. But right now, the Gators are 9th and 10th in the polls, 12-2. And coming up this week, They've got Texas A&M, followed by, let's see what their schedule is. They got Texas A&M, and then they've got, who's the next schedule? Well, France, you have a schedule in front of you?
Yeah, you got Missouri on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. We just talked about it. In fact, why didn't they play Missouri while they were out there? They're out of Texas.
They're playing Missouri at the O-Dome, and Missouri is playing without its best rebounder, Lawrence Bowers, and that makes them very vulnerable.
You watched the game on Saturday. Obviously, Florida, an easy win. Is Florida's defense just that stifling, or was LSU just so bad?
No, Florida's defense is that good. All you got to do is all you have to do is take a look at the schedule, and one team after another. The Gators have just absolutely shut them down. This is a team that defensively doesn't have the shot blockers that they had, for example, in 2006 and 2007. But they may be better on the perimeter than that team was. I mean, these guys really get after it on the perimeter. The defense is just solid. But all you got to do is look. I mean, Alabama State 35, Wisconsin 56, Middle Tennessee 45, Savannah State 40, Marquette 49, Florida State 47. I mean, even in the game they lost, the games they lost, they only gave up 65 and 67 points. This team's only given up. This team has not given up 70 points in a game against a Division I team. They gave up 71 in the exhibition game. They have not given up 70 points in a regular game this year.
Yeah, well, Texas A&M, as we said, now they play against Missouri, although it's a home game. Missouri's a ranked team. They're pretty decent. They might give them a little bit more of a ball game. But right now, I don't see a whole lot of competition in that Western Division. Do you?
Well, the West, there's no divisions anymore.
Well, I mean the Western part of the conference.
The Western part of the conference, it's the whole league is young, and all you got to do is look at the number of guys that left early last year or were drafted last year. 12 guys got drafted out of this league. A lot of good seniors left. Florida lost Brad Beal and a 3-year starter at point guard.
Brad Beal's having a good year in the NBA, by the way.
Yes, he is. And by the way, I love all the people that were naysayers about Chandler Parsons. Augie and I used to talk about how Chandler Parsons was one day going to be a better pro than he ever was a college player, and he's proven it.
Yes, for sure.
But if you look at all the players that left the league, the league was going to be down. Then you throw in all the injuries. I mean, you look at this. Florida